Good morning, hey guys. Um, Still doing the work at Fresh Start again today, and the boys, all the men are in their morning meditation, and I get to slip out and do this. So I'm grateful to have that opportunity to work be work somewhere where this is. The kind of work that we do, really, and hello, Emily. Hi, honey. I'm working at Fresh Start, and so that's why I'm in my car. It's my third day in a row in the car. The men are in their meditation from 9 to 9:30, and so I slip out to the car to do my reading and in my talk. How are you? Nice to see you here. So I was thinking this morning. Uh, One of the things I do, I know this sounds crazy. One of the things that I do, one of my prayers, I feel like I'm often in prayer, like it's "Thy will be done." Show me, what you'd have me to be, throughout the whole day. But I also, in the morning, take a little time for conscious connection, just to and for me, the last year or so, um, I have every morning. I have a bit of a cold shower. I have a shower and then I finish it with maybe 2 minutes or so of Rocky Mountain ice cold. And in that cold shower time, I'm praying. And, I do my third step prayer and pray for guidance. Um, and the reason I'm bringing this up is that lots of times when we're doing this work, the prayer work, when we're doing our meditation work, we're, helping others, we're reading inspirational material, we can't see the results. We just don't see them. But it is, it's happening. There's a story in the book where one of the men, I think it's Jim in the big book, goes out and and he recognizes that he had failed to enlarge on his spiritual life. The Probably the most important part of any of the warnings in the book is that if we don't enlarge on our spiritual life, we're you know bound to end up back where we started, or worse. And so we have to practice, a daily practice, and whether it's the readings we do. Emily, I know you do like readings from 2 or 3 books every morning, and have a quiet time to commune with your concept of a higher power. So it's the daily stuff. It really does make the difference. It's the if we take that time in the morning, you know, and sometimes fellas get sober, and we recognize that nothing else will protect us. We need a power greater than ourselves to keep us from going back to our old ways. We need to be, lifted up, and stay lifted up, and and how do we stay lifted up? By doing our daily practices. So stay the course. Daily practice is very, very important. I can't stress it enough. And one of the beautiful things for me with reading this book to you guys every single morning, no matter where I am, I do this, in the morning. Sometimes it's a little later in the day if stuff, gets away from me. But I've already done my practices in the morning, and that's what keeps us, helps us lift up. And because if we're relying on ourselves, or if we're self-reliant, we're working with the material that we got as a child. Most of us got a mixed idea of who we were, and why we were here, and we're living in fear. And we go back to that. And with the daily practices, we begin, to live in a God-centered life, as opposed to self-centered, and we move up. That's it. And I just want to share that today with you. Recognize that if you're restless, irritable, and discontent, if you're complaining about other people or situations or governments or whatever, if you're in judgment of people, then you need to get back to your daily practices. Those are signs, If you're saying, oh, my sponsor's an asshole, those damn meetings are a waste of time, you're in trouble already. So back to your daily practices. Pray your ass off. I remember my first sponsor, he used to say, you slip out of bed onto your knees. And it was easier when I was scared. And then, now it's because I believe, no, it's not a belief at all, because I experience the presence. I feel it. I feel the oneness, and I can't imagine not being in this place. It's a beautiful, to be not even connected, but to feel the oneness every day. So it's beautiful. Okay, I'm going to read. Hey there, good morning. This is October 9th, Thought for the Day. I read from this book every day. It's a 24-hour day book, and we're just reading it for me and for you. And sometimes it's amazing, and sometimes I edit a little bit because it's written in 1954 and the language is a little dated, but I love it. It's a God book. It is. Am I willing to be bored, it says sometimes at meetings? Am I willing to listen to much repetition of AA principles? Am I willing to hear the same thing over and over again? Am I willing to listen to a long blow-by-blow personal story because it might help some newcomer? Am I willing to sit quietly and listen to a long-winded member go into every detail of his past? Am I willing to take it because it is doing him good to get it off his chest? My feelings are not too important. The good of AA comes first, even if it's not always comfortable for me. Service, baby. I mean, that's it. Lots of times we're just there, and that's how we show our love. It's being there. Just be there for these folks, for people. That's the beautiful thing. That is love in action. Have I learned to take it, he says. Meditation for the day. God would draw us all closer to him in the bonds of the Spirit. God would draw us all closer to him in the bonds of the Spirit. He would have all people drawn closer to each other in the bonds of the Spirit. God, the great Spirit of the universe, of which each of our own spirits is a small part, must want unity between himself and all his children. Unity of the Spirit in the bonds of peace. Each experience of a man's life of joy, of sorrow, of danger, of safety, of difficulty, of success, of hardship, of ease, each should be accepted as part of our common lot in the bonds of Spirit. I love that. Basically what he's saying is that it's all the same. Easy, hard, safe, dangerous. It's all the same. Right, wrong, good, bad. It's really all a judgment. The stuff that we think is, was the worst thing that could ever happen. 6 months later we're thinking, my gosh, that was the best thing that ever happened to me. So it's beautiful. Prayer for the day. I pray that I may welcome the bonds of true brotherhood. I pray that I may be brought closer to unity with God and my fellow man. Beautiful. So daily practices is kind of my message today. And, we can't always tell that we're growing or that we're getting closer to in our relationship with God and the moment. But daily, there's some great practices. The 12-step, all around through the 12-step world, there's so much available. But there's also, there's lots of teachers. Eckhart Tolle, yes. Dr. David Hawkins. There's great teachings around it where we can be growing spiritually. Whatever we see in our own churches. There's lots of ways to be lifted up. Okay, So if we get away from that shit, we're screwed. If you are alcoholic or an addict, so we have to really focus and fill it with gratitude. Okay, be here now. Recognize that sometimes if we're in our thoughts and complaint or anger or fear, we're not here. We're not here. Okay. Just quickly want to mention a couple of things. Monday night I have a meditation group. We start at 7 now. So even this Monday coming, 7 o'clock, meditation group. And I'm reading a book online called the Bhagavad Gita. Love you to join us for that. Hi, Toby. Just wrap it up now. I'm at work. I've been working at Fresh Start this week. It's been fun. I get to slip out and do this in the car. And so, yeah, Bhagavad Gita, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. If I'm not working, I'm going to do it in the morning at 11 o'clock. If I'm working, I do it at 6. So we got a good start on it. Go get that book, the Bhagavad Gita by Stephen Mitchell, and follow along. It's very, talk about spiritual practice. It is really something. It's all in, and it vibrates very, very high. Okay. Love you, and we'll talk soon. Cheers.